That's done through Palliser. Again, same, it's a one-shop stop for development, building permit. Call the meeting to order.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order at 7:00.
Okay. Well, before we get started, I made a joke with Brandon at the Give Back Gala that I was going to bring Santa hats for everyone at the next meeting. So here we are.
Thank you.
Ho, ho, ho.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's
Yours is thank you, Brandon.
I got this.
Who's got a better one? Very nice. So
Okay,
you may
oh,
leave
yes.
yourself.
no.
No.
Okay,
Sparkles.
there you go.
Sparkles. Oh, there's gonna be sparkles. Good thing I did that.
There you go.
Okay.
You got it.
Oh,
Now everybody's got to wear
Seriously?
okay. Oh, I like
them.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it's gonna.
Oh, it's an improvement though.
Here.
Yeah, definitely it is. It's just my.
Is this one bigger? We just gotta.
Oh, yeah, I got the baby size.
Yeah, okay. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's
But I know, and I was supposed to bring that basket, but Yvette was
Oh. I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Oh. Yeah, how many door prizes in our table? 1, 2, no, 3 door prizes, did we? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
got sparkles. We're sparkly.
So
Thank you for the sparkles.
I have, thank you, yeah.
Oh, God.
I have 2 things I'd like to add. First is, next year for Christmas, I would like to look at doing a village Christmas party at the outdoor arena with the fire department.
We did inquire for this year, but they had, their event was last night.
That's why I want to start planning it now. So we'll add that to,
So Christmas 2026.
9.8.
9.8. 9.8.
Christmas light judging, we don't have to add, but it's just a reminder.
Mhm.
We go to Rocky Ford on the 20th. Not sure if I can make it.
Yeah, I think Brandon.
Yeah, I can.
I should be able to, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I might be able to. I don't know too.
Yeah. So are we doing ours on the same night then? That's
They
what
are
they were wanting.
doing
They-
over here the same night, so we'll go
Okay.
there, they come here. They send Yvette an email, we send them an email. That way it just makes it so that everybody can win,
That's December 19th.
right? Because they don't know where you live.
20th?
We
20th
don't-
is a Saturday.
I do have a little bit of a problem. I do know where everybody lives over there, so if I do go, it'll be just, I'll just be riding. And orientation part 2, I would like to add to 9.9. So we can make a motion that we did it. Any other additions to the agenda?
Sorry, what was the last one?
Orientation part 2.
Okay,
The motion.
Oh. 9.9.
9. So if somebody would like, if there's no more agenda additions, let's make a motion to this.
I had added on 9.4 insurance claim.
9.4.
Yeah.
Would somebody like to make a motion to accept the agenda with additions?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Carried. No guests, so we'll move right along to administration reports, public works.
It was in the package.
Yeah.
Everybody, any questions? No?
No.
Okay.
Office.
In the package?
Yeah.
Anybody have any? We thought this would be the good place to tell you what unsightly properties that Laura and James have been dealing with. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 No questions? Yeah.
No, I had no questions, so.
Okay.
CAO strategic, do you want motions on those two?
No, we'll do them all
Do
together.
them
I
all
think.
together? Okay.
yeah.
4.3 CAO strategic plan,
Again.
solar parking light, park lights and grants.
Yeah. So everything was in the package.
Yeah.
I think
Any
we just have
questions?
one.
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay. I'll review.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then the
Office Christmas schedule.
yeah, so we
closing
will
it.
be closed the 20
From the 24th until the 2nd, we will reopen
No.
on,
no, that's second.
Yeah.
January 5th.
well, yeah,
Okay.
we're closed until the 2nd. We reopen again on the 5th.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. So everybody's good with that. We'll post. James is on call and we'll do snow removal as needed. Yeah, and I was last one thing that was coming out of there is a snake. I was wondering if we should not leave one with WRC for emergencies on a regular basis, because if they can't get a hold of James or I, as what happened last night, which they finally got a hold of me, they could have contacted WRC for the snake.
so can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why are they not contacting WRC anyway? Because WRC does our sewer.
Yes, I know, but they needed the snake.
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
They should
That's
be
what I-
contacting
yeah.
WRC.
Yeah,
But they would need the snake, so then they would have to contact us.
we have 2 or 3 of them.
We
right?
have
Then
to,
give
Yeah.
WRC a. seat.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so just so council is aware, we
Yeah.
will let people know, I think in a newsletter, especially over Christmas, if you have any emergencies, please call. But any,
Please stress that any emergencies, any
Yeah.
time,
oh yeah,
sewer or water is WRC, not the village.
yes,
Because that's why we're paying WRC to do this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was the issue last night?
sewer backup, chronic, so
Yeah.
I told them to keep it for Christmas.
No.
Yeah, not good.
Okay,
Okay, so yeah, we can,
we want to move to adopt 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4.
I'll make a motion to adopt 4.0 administration reports.
All in favor? Carried. Minutes from November 12th, 2025. Anybody got any questions? No. There's, I'll move regular council minutes. Adopt this. All in favor? Carried. 6.0, 6.1, you need a motion to remove this land acknowledgement?
Well, I'll just explain a little bit what happened. We had a presentation on land acknowledgement and how there was a sign down on Memory Lane that wanted to be removed by certain individuals. Anyway, it came to council's attention, but when we investigated, it comes down to Memory Lane leases the land and therefore has control over the signage. So therefore, they put a land acknowledgement sign down there and they wish to keep it down there. We received a bunch of letters, probably, I think 14, 15 letters from various people, community members, members outside the community, Indigenous members. I think that council should direct administration to respond back in that Memory Lane is in charge of the lease and the sign will remain.
Are the received letters for or against the request?
They were all against removing the sign.
Okay.
And thank them for their concern, but this information will remain in Memory Lane's control.
Sounds good.
Okay, somebody want to make that motion?
Make,
Brett already had his hand up. All in favor? Carried, so you can remove that from unfinished business.
Yep.
Bylaw council procedure, second reading.
Anyway.
Second reading. We want to move third.
I'll move third.
I would, do we go right to third?
Introduce third.
We'll introduce third? Okay,
Sorry, yeah.
yeah.
I'll make the motion to introduce third.
And then third and final.
I can do that.
All in favor? Carried. Dog bylaw.
So just so everybody understands, I'm not sure. If there's a bylaw that needs to come to council, typically what we do is I'll prepare it, present it. You go to right into first reading, then the discussion opens up. So that's where we do first reading in a meeting, and it could take 3 or 4 meetings before it's actually passed. If by the time everybody reviews it, makes changes, comes back, and it will always come back to your red line with previous council meeting changes. And then it goes back out, and then if you're happy with that, then you can, there's certain bylaws you can approve in one meeting. And there are typical bylaws that happen every year, like your property tax bylaw, your loan agreement bylaw with ATB. It's always at the beginning of the year. It's, you can go first, second, introduce third, and unanimous to third and final. Okay. All right. So dog bylaw. Any comments on the 2, 3 dogs? What's the comment?
Well, the comment is if you have 3 dogs, you're breaking our bylaw, right? So we either enforce our bylaw or we change it, and I think we need to enforce it. That's my feeling.
Have we had petitions or letters stating, requesting the third?
Yes, the last resident has requested. There is multiple people in the village that have 3 dogs.
Mhm.
3 or more.
I mean, we could do it as a one-off. I mean, they could apply and they could come to the council and request for a exemption for a 3rd dog if they're moving into the
Yeah.
village, and then okay, so what would happen is then you would tell that person, okay, if they're moving in or they happen to have a 3rd dog now, it'll be grandfathered in. But in the future, what you can do is say, okay, if and when you get back down to 2 dogs, then it remains 2. You cannot go get a 3rd dog. This person moved in, he had 3 dogs, didn't know the bylaws, so what are you gonna do? That's my,
Yeah.
so, I mean, they can come in and ask for an exemption for the 3rd dog, but we make it very clear to people, but the thing is, yeah,
But other longer term residents have more than 2 dogs.
Correct.
Now that we don't
Yeah.
enforce that. by
And
law.
and next year we are enforcing the dog bylaw. Our public works will be noting and giving us, and we have very good support with the peace officers right now that we can, enforce it. Say, hey, and there will be a deadline to apply and get your dog licenses. And after that, then it's going to cost you this.
So I'm just gonna put this
So-
out there. So somebody moves to town and they have 6 dogs. How
Yeah.
can you,
Then you charge them
You-
for a license for a farrier, and they'll have to pay every year to have a farrier license, which is going to be, I don't know, come up with a number.
Kennel license or whatever. There's a kennel license in town, isn't there?
No, well, you have to apply to be a farrier, right?
Just in town here or?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
At a higher level?
Just in town, right? So we have one, and she was granted permission to be a farrier, right? So it's not a kennel. She's breeding dogs.
Breeding dogs, okay. Guess
Yeah,
those are the
so,
difference.
yeah, okay.
And what's the difference in?
Well, there
Rates.
was none. It was just given permission,
Okay,
right? So,
okay.
we had one that was given permission and then it was removed because of nuisance complaints, right? So
Okay.
you have that option, right? You can give, and then if you have problems, it's a development permit, or sort of, and on these conditions that there is no problems, right? So, if you have a bunch of dogs outside, obviously you need to be cleaning up, or the smell of dogs is going to affect your neighbor, right? Yeah, there's certain criteria to be.
What about just kind of a thought, if we went with I don't know the feasibility of it, but the 2-dog maximum, right? If you move in to town, or if you're current resident in town with 3 dogs, for the 3rd dog, you pay $100 per year for the additional dog. When that goes down to 2 dogs, you're not allowed another dog, right? That way it's putting it's not a burden, but there's a financial cost of having the 3rd dog.
Mhm.
So if they want the 3rd dog, they pay $100 fee for the 3rd dog. And then when it goes down to 2, there's a 2-dog limit.
Yeah, I like that.
That way when they come in, somebody comes in, they can ask, I'm coming in, I have 3 dogs, I understand you have 2. Can I get, an allowance for the 3rd dog? Yes, you can. There's a $100 fee per year for the 3rd dog. And, then when the time comes, you're back down to 2.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we had 2 dogs. One was 14 years old and she was on her way out, right?
Yeah.
So the wife goes and gets another puppy. So that makes us 3.
Yeah.
Well, our other old dog lived another 2 or 3 years. So there we were with 3 dogs for 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to us, because we've had a dog die of a broken heart because her
Yeah.
buddy just died. So now we throw a puppy into the mix before the old one dies. That's what we do.
Mm.
Well, that's what we had to do as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, for something like that, as I said, if there's a cost associated with it, then it puts it back on the resident, but they have to do that. And it also kind of puts the responsibility on them, because if they're forking out a financial cost to have the 3rd dog, they're going to be a little bit more responsible for it. And it reiterates that we're aware of the 3rd dog.
Yes, and they have to still acknowledge the 3rd dog with
Yeah.
the village, right?
Mhm.
So okay. So how about because there was actually I was thinking about bringing the master rates, but back to council in January to review some of the rates. How about we add this on to that one and review that at the same time? So we don't really have to change our dog bylaw per se. We can just leave it at 2, but they can apply for, which would be
well, you'd have to be in the
our-
bylaw.
As an exemption.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it'd have to be in the bylaw.
Yeah.
Okay, let me inquire with Justin how that would operate.
Yeah, get the
Whether
wording-
we have to
get the
change
wording
the
right.
actual bylaw or not
Yeah.
to accommodate for a 3rd dog.
So that also raises the question, if someone wanted to apply for a farrier's license within standard,
Mhm.
what is the minimum basis to start off that?
And
Yeah.
what is the cost?
Yeah.
And what would the cost be affiliated in regards?
Cause
Yeah.
there should be something there.
Oh, yeah.
And
It
I-
has to be
okay,
as a-
so-
As a secondary, I think you should follow that up as a secondary
And
cost.
I think something like this should fall into, say, home occupation almost, right?
Right.
So let me inquire some more because I want to bring the home occupation license back to council. We've scrapped it, but I think it might be beneficial to do it so you know your licensed businesses in the village of Standard.
I think that'd be a perfect place to put
Yeah.
the regular license.
Okay,
Exactly, right, that also
Okay.
promotes it.
So-
Then
the master rates and then okay. Business licenses. Okay. All right. So we'll just table
Okay.
that to the next meeting.
Move the table. All in favor? Carried. Quote for high volume VFD pump.
Okay, so this is just for your information. So the really high cost was brought down to 10,976.05. It needs to be replaced. So
Just need a motion.
Where is this one located?
this is this is, they call it a VFD. And it's part of the computer, right?
At WRC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a water pump.
Yeah, high volume.
It's a high volume water pump.
At the WRC
That's
facility.
fine for us, for our water.
Yeah, and our distribution. Yeah.
verbal frequency drive.
I had frequency drive, but I couldn't remember the V. I could not
Mhm.
remember it. I was thinking it was variable, but
Adjust flow and pressure by controlling frequency and power and motion.
basically we don't have a choice.
Yeah. So this is the quote, so we can just approve it as presented.
I will make the motion to approve that presented. All in favor? Carried. Survey plan for Frederick Extension.
Okay, so a survey, there's a couple here that they would like council's approval to make sure that they can move forward, because now that they've done all the basic housing stuff, they're moving back into survey stuff that they don't have to do during the summer. So this was the plan that previous council approved, okay, for the survey that's been marked out. So we just want to make sure that we're still good moving forward. So on the back side, you'll see where this is going. Oh, not that, sorry.
It says six.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be just this one, 6.5. Sorry, we have 6.5 and a 6.6.
So 19466.
So, yeah.
Is the one stapled to six?
no, that's not it.
That's not it.
Okay, here, you can have this one.
All right.
Oh,
No,
The 6
I don't have any two.
here, you can have this one. I have more. You can have that one.
All right.
So the other side just shows you, the other side shows you where this is going in, okay? So it's gonna be in this little section of land right here, okay? That's where those lots, this here is going to be in this little section here. That's where it's gonna go. So if council is okay with that, then we can, I can keep moving forward, but that's what was approved. So you just wanted to make sure that this council is still good with that.
Is he putting pins in or? is-
They're it pinned in now, and he laughed at, but the pins are there.
Oh, okay.
So before they, do subdivision and everything, make sure that everything's good.
We
Do
just need
we
a motion to
own?
accept.
Yeah,
I'll put in a motion to
Yeah.
accept.
Yeah, we do. Okay, never mind.
correct.
All in favor? Carried. Survey plan for new freedom zone.
Okay, so that's the next one. So there is Again, I gave you two. Oh, thanks. I gave you two maps again. One was showing what we had sent to ACE and Nutrien for approval. And now they've come back and Nutrien is good with this design. So we wanted to ensure that everything, all easements, all road remain in the village, okay? So this here marks out and allows us access to our sewage lagoon, which is up top here. Okay?
Yeah.
So
So everything in
Nutrien.
yellow is the donation.
yes, everything from the line down. So this section here
Yeah.
and this section here will become village.
Ooh,
We already own this here in the middle.
pretty good donation.
Yeah.
That was quite the donation.
That was 200 and they were asking.
So, and the deal,
No, it's not that
the,
section.
No, it's not.
Road too.
the village just
The
pays for the
road
survey and the
yeah.
subdivision.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, and then we get all that, and it cleans up all this easement stuff
Yeah.
and the road.
Mhm.
And at the same time, there's that swale going in over on this side, which is all part of this whole deal that Nutrien approved
Mhm.
prior to.
Mhm.
Okay?
I will move
So-
to accept.
Okay,
All in favor? Carried.
perfect.
PRMS project.
Yeah, so they sent an email, and the guidelines and the costs, and the scope of the project. So this just all came in, so that's why it's in the package today. So there'll be, so again, the cost to the village would be the 1,500, which is something that will be put into the asset management budget. And then the rest would be charged to the applicant when they submit the permit. And they are showing you the fees. So that's why I was gonna be redoing the scheduled fee at the same time. I think this is a win-win situation. Because they had told us a year or so ago, keep track of the time that you're putting into these development permits, and $35 is not cutting it anymore.
No.
It's beyond that. Okay, so if we are still good with proceeding forward, this is the best practices. So again, for the vision, the mission for this project, pilot project, it was all in there.
I'll make the motion to move forward with the PRMS project.
Any questions?
Okay, agreement and scope of services, right?
Yes.
Okay. Which brand?
All in favor? Carried. November 2025 financials.
Okay.
Any questions? You want to move to accept? Well, yeah, all in favor? Carried.
Brett?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Correspondence, anything?
Yeah, so I was a little, okay, I wanted to make sure that I got this right. So when I'm moving stuff out of the consent agenda, for example, we had the joint use planning agreement is now completed. I added it into the section as it's completed. It's correspondence. You can look at it. It's been approved. So is that good to add it here in the correspondence where we can just approve everything as in general? So in here, then we would just be having just for you guys to know, the joint use planning agreement with the Golden Hills School Division is now finalized, okay? And will be filed, and then the county sent back a resolution for the ACP grant, so that which we filed, so now we can submit in the resolutions. And the Standard Rural Fire Association signed the indemnity agreement.
Okay. Somebody want to move it to accept correspondence?
Well,
Brian? All in favor?
Okay. So yeah,
Very-
so some of the stuff can come off the consent agenda now, so. Perfect.
New business, community standard bylaw.
So we have a couple that we would like for you to take home, and one is the community standards bylaw. In there, we will review the, this one is B, 91.
9.
Community standards, we will be reviewing propane tanks. So it came to our attention in a nuisance complaint that we had, and then it came down to there was multiple violations of the bylaws. Propane tank, as it reads in the community standards bylaw right now, is you're only allowed a certain amount, or not both, one or the other, but the one size came down, it was the pig size. And we did not want those in the village. So
300 pounders, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
The surplus ones? Yeah. Okay.
so anyway, so the thing is, I understand why it was written this way, but I don't want it in there. I think we should have just a quantity and that's it. So we do not allow the, but the Lions use the 100-pounders, right? So,
Yeah, but 100 pound, I mean, if somebody has a barbecue and a fire table and
Yeah, that's not.
a Blackstone, I mean, they could have 330 pounds on them, right? Or
what does an RV take?
30
now?
pounders.
30 pounds.
30 pounders?
20, 30,
Okay, so
40.
because you want to keep within so that you're not
Well,
conflicting with what RVs are, being
Well,
stored in the yard,
well,
right?
yeah, I mean, you store
So,
your RV
yeah.
in your backyard and then you have a barbecue and all this stuff, you'd be up at
I
at
think
100
anything bigger
pounds
than
easy.
100.
Or close to it, right?
So we want to say up to a certain
Up
amount,
to- Up to 100 pounds, I would think would be.
max.
Would that be like a quantity, like a quantity of
Or
propane?
even one tank.
Or would that be,
Total
It's one
quantity on
size.
site would be whatever poundage we come up with.
Okay, so
Yeah,
anyway,
that
so
can-
that's-
that can pose a problem too with smokers, barbecues,
Well, that's what I'm saying, but
cookers
it
and any
means-
kind of stuff outdoors, right?
Yeah, I would just say
So-
a 100-pound tank rather than combined.
No, you don't want to
Combined
do tank
size.
though.
Yeah, but as you said though, if I've got my fire pit, I've got my Blackstone, and then I've got my barbecue.
That's
Yeah,
three.
I got 30,
60,
60,
6 at
90.
60, it's not
don't forget the
100
mosquito
people.
bug one.
They
Well,
go
but that's
out
what I mean
there.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
100's a little.
But
Oh, yeah.
the,
a little low. I
but
think.
the Lions at
Well,
the
I
hall,
mean-
they have 300
Yeah.
pounders sitting there at all times. Plus
Yeah,
there's
but how
usually
do
one
you
in
say how do you say 300 pounders then? Because then you can have a pig on site.
there.
well, the,
That's
app-
300
No,
pounds.
they
the
don't-
smallest pig is 420 pounds.
Is it 420?
It's 420, yeah.
What about just maximum single cylinder capacity of 100 pounds? You're not allowed a maximum single cylinder capacity exceeding 100 pounds.
Yeah, but that don't
How many-
have to
how many of
lie.
those do you
They're
allow?
Three 100 pound.
No,
No, they can
No,
have as
no.
many as they want.
as many as they want, but
But
each
but
cylinder
only-
cannot.
Look
But
what
we don't
happened
want
to
them to
Paul
have as many.
We
Kaczynski.
don't
Yeah, we
want them to
also-
have as many as
yeah,
they
we don't
want, because
have-
they could have 10 sitting up there.
That's right.
And then you have a fire.
And then kaboom.
That's
But
what
we can put them both in there. We can have a maximum container size and a maximum quantity. We can do them both.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do
Okay.
that.
So,
Consecutively.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that would work.
So
because
what-
I think
okay,
kind of
so-
like what the Lions have, you can have, that would make sense.
Right, notes, numbers.
You'd have a maximum single tank of 100 pounds capacity,
Quantity of food.
and then and like say 300 pounds total quantity on site.
That should cover the Zamboni and stuff, Joe. I'm not sure how many tanks they have. now,
Yeah.
'cause this
Um,
propane now.
They're only 80 pounds.
80.
Yeah, they got two. Oh, no, sorry. 2 or 4. They got
Yeah, but
2 on the machine at all times, but I think they have a spare or 2 spares.
I don't know.
Okay, but what about if,
Whatever, we can figure that out,
Yeah.
but
but what about if we stipulate it as maximum single quantity of 100 pounds to a combined total not exceeding 300 pounds for residential?
Anything commercial above.
Commercial
you
above
get
that.
Way more stern.
Commercial
Well,
above
yeah,
that.
You can
we're
get
putting the
more
industrial park,
commercial
that's totally
because-
different,
yeah,
right?
That's a whole.
This is
different
just
ballgame.
It's
residential.
just residential.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is just every resident shall abide by the fire code. No person shall, and then the propane tanks located within the village are strictly regulated. No owner or occupant shall only permit propane tanks of any condition. Well, see, we might have to
Also-
specify more, break it
also-
down.
Also, at the same time, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah,
I think we
no.
should also look at certified bottles, because bottles they have a time period, and they do not work after time. A lot of people get
See-
away with filling pressure pipe or bottles, as we would say, right? And
And-
they are out
yeah.
of date.
Yes.
That's a problem as well.
And the reason why we have the research on the propane tank is because the Ag Society was looking at getting a larger tank, but they can't because they need the set tank permit, they need certification, it's just way too, it's just not feasible to do it that way. They need to keep doing their 80-pound tanks.
Yeah.
So,
But for them to get it, they're outside the residential.
so single 100-pound
Well,
certified, and then to a max of 400 pounds total.
I wouldn't go that high. because-
300?
No, I wouldn't go up.
Okay, max 300 pounds total.
Yeah.
Or if it's just residential, we could bring that back down to 300 pounds. So say how many 20-pound tanks? is
Yeah,
that?
you can
Yeah,
limit,
that's-
you
So
can
you're
limit the
talking
bottle
15?
size too, right?
Yeah.
You could say.
I mean, nobody's gonna-
It's so many 20s.
You wouldn't
so many
want
30s.
anybody having
Yeah,
necessarily 15
but there is
20
one or
pound
two, I
propane
don't think on that.
bottles in there.
I've got 3 myself. I could.
Yeah,
That's all I have. Like,
I'm so a little bit different. I mean, I've got 6, 8. I got 8 propane bottles in my propane cage because I've got 2 extra for the trailer, and then I've got 2 extra for the barbecue.
And you are Central Business District.
Yeah. So,
I think
So maybe we need
it
to,
is 300 is fine, max, the way that was written.
Yeah, because anything above that just falls into like a whole.
because no.
this is
resident
just
is
for
gonna-
residential.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
resident is gonna need more than 300 pounds in propane.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we should have,
Okay.
like I said, maybe in the commercial side, just at least say something there too. You know,
Do we, so the commercial business or highway commercial or industrial is,
that's a different ballgame.
Office approval. And,
Or as per council.
As per council
I'm not sure
approval.
how we approach that,
Yeah.
because then we can revisit. it
yeah,
another
they have to come to us rather than say, okay,
Then we
I'm
get
gonna
involved,
put
right?
4 tanks here.
Instead of handing the ball away, right?
You know.
Yeah, hold on to.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
So we do the residential is the 100 and the 300.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's the TV.
Oh,
Well, yes, so we're powering, sorry, we're keeping the residential stuff, and then for commercial use or business use, it has to be presented for council approval or for
Well,
admin approval.
the thing is in the industrial and business district, the central business district, I think would be kind of the same as the residential, but when you come to highway, commercial or industrial, I think it's different.
Yeah,
Because they might be operating on the bigger tanks,
So
right?
you want us to take this home and look at it anyway, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's take it
Okay.
home and look at
Okay.
it and make
'Cause
notes, or we.
there would be a difference, because actually, go down to Cal's,
Back the next meeting anyway, so.
go down to Cal's, I'm sure he has,
Hey,
he's probably got a pig down
do
there.
you want to make the motion to accept to take?
Oh, so then, yeah.
Home.
Let's do, there's the next one. So the community standards bylaw, and then the utility, the next one, there was 2. There's the public
9(1)B.
utility, and I think we should, 918,
Okay.
918. I think we should look at garbage and how many bags of garbage a residential should be producing, or we should be picking up.
Thought we already had it.
It's 5 bags.
Yep.
So what do we want to do with places that have too many? So some places have where you can get pay extra to get them picked up.
Strathmore, you go get little tickets from the office for $5 a bag or whatever it is.
But
We used to do that for the in-laws.
5 is kind of getting to be, we're going to be into recycling here next year. We're supposed to be into the curbside recycling in 2026. It may not happen in 2026, but I think it will be happening sooner than later. But so garbage is picking up is,
The way I look at it, you give them a tag, they tag the extra bags, they come back here and give you an address. You contact them and tell them that they need to be cleaned up themselves and they cannot be left out for the week to be picked up next week.
Yeah,
And if they,
well, you have
if
the
they don't,
expert,
then
You know what?
past history over here, yeah.
I
Here you have to.
It is,
I'm picking up garbage over.
I do
Yeah,
it once a week too. It's just, how are we gonna approach it?
Okay, well, how many bags of garbage do you get at home?
Well, this is kind of the thing because I look as the fact is that for our included in our taxes and everything else, we pay for 5 bags per week per removal. Okay, that's what we pay for. And now, however, like today is Wednesday, so today I missed the garbage. So I still have the garbage. So today, unless I'm able to make it down to the dump on Saturday, I have to put up this week's and next week's
well,
out.
whose fault is that?
Yeah, but
But seriously,
No,
I'm
but-
not being ignorant or
No,
anything,
no.
but that's your own fault.
that is my own fault. But I guess on the other side of it though, why am I paying for garbage to be removed if I'm not I'm paying for 5 bags to be removed, the maximum of 5 bags to be removed every Wednesday. Therefore, I'm paying to have 20 bags per month removed. If I have 10 bags removed, then I have 10.
You see, I 100% disagree with that. It's 5 bags a week
Yeah.
maximum. It doesn't matter what you have. So what did we pay a year for garbage?
Oh, we're up into the, like, probably 20,000.
No.
Oh,
What do we pay as a resident, sorry,
sorry, okay,
per
so,
year for garbage pickup?
well, it's monthly, so I
Okay.
believe it's $20 a month.
$20 a month.
25,
Something like that.
25, I think.
So why don't we just double up? Up the wage, and then up the
No,
bags to 10.
well,
No, yeah.
it's not a matter of, it's a matter of, eventually we're gonna be recycling, right? So we need to reduce the amount of garbage that everybody's producing, right? So
That
we're,
can-
instead of going into the garbage, it needs to be it'll have to be recycled.
I understand.
So,
that you
and then
want-
what's gonna happen is we're gonna be trying to take stuff to the dump.
It won't be recycled.
know,
I was gonna bring that up when I'm doing my report, but
Oh,
it's gonna be, you're gonna be paying for having those 3 garbage cans out there out of your pocket. But that could be voluntary. So if you don't want to pay for it, everything's going in the one can. And a lot of people aren't gonna want to
No.
pay for those extra cans.
something to think
Unless
about,
it's
okay?
mandatory.
Because it's coming
Yeah,
down where we'll be
okay.
recycling it. So if it
Okay.
comes down to
Okay.
where we have to
I'll
start
review that.
reducing the garbage at the transfer site, that's gonna mean that we're gonna need to reduce the garbage that we're picking up because of,
Okay, so
But
actually,
anyway.
just to clarify, so the whole point coming up is number of bags because a number of residents are leaving more than 5.
correct, at this time, yes, but at the
Is
same
that
time,
that's a repetitive thing?
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Is it a lot more than
Big
5?
families,
Is it a
there's
big
quite
deal?
often 10 or, to me, as a garbage man, it would never bother me a bit.
Yeah,
It was
but
just
that's,
if you put,
but that's why it continues to go, because
Yeah.
you always picked it up, and that was our bylaw was
Yeah.
5 bags a month.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, a week.
a week,
But every
yes.
time we pick it up, that doesn't enforce the bylaw.
That's right,
Right? So what's the point in having a bylaw?
What's the maximum
There is no maximum, and that's why we have a problem every week of the transfer being full and I can't off the truck.
oh yeah?
Yeah,
What on average, how many do you pick up per house?
the same houses, there's 5 or 6 same houses, they'll have 20 bags.
oh, we don't have that
You
here.
tell me why.
not that much here, but still.
Yeah, that's not that much here. Like the
Most
way I was
likely.
looking at it is that
An average-
But you know what? I had 2 kids, we went through the diaper stage, and the maximum bags we ever had was probably 2 bags.
Yeah.
Maybe 3,
2 or 3 at most.
like,
I have 4 kids.
anyway,
Okay, so
Keep it under 5.
these 2 we will table and then you guys can take them
Okay.
home because they are a little bit more in depth. Go through it all if there's see anything you'd like to bring up or whatever, but these were 2 things that we
we'll
kind of,
move to table.
okay.
I'll make that motion. Oh, go ahead.
All right, I'll make the motion.
Carried. Intern budget.
Okay, so in your packages, you do have your budget from last year, which, well, again, was shown on your BPR.
Yeah.
So typically what we would do is approve a interim budget for the first quarter of, based on last year's total for operating in 2026. And then that gives us January, we would review the budget, February, March, April. We never have audit presentation until April. That's always audit. So as soon as we can get a budget finalized and approved would be at April meeting if audit is, we could accept the audit presentation.
So we want to move an interim budget for the first quarter.
I'll make a motion.
We're at first.
It's like a button. Button fast. That's what we need. We need a button, not a hand up. A buzzer.
Yeah, that was easy.
All in favor? Carried. Vote for radios and Connect Mobility is all.
Yeah, so this is just part of budget, so I just wanted to, so you'd ask for a quote for the radios to replace the radios because they're phasing out these ones. Do we need it? That was part of Tom's comment, because we are part of the REM.
Yeah.
They come with a full mobile trailer equipped with everything that we would possibly need. They will have all the radios, anything and everything. So as long as the fire department is equipped, that we're happy. They've got what they need. I don't think we personally need to have a radio here at the office.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will just accept that as information and Connect Mobility. So we are a partner with them. When we first started up, we basically used some of our CRIS funding that we had gotten to purchase the first 75 antennas, which we offered to the residents and said, hey, sign up, free antenna. The antennas circulate and rotate. If a house doesn't sign on, then we will go and remove it and then put it onto a new house. But we're getting at that stage where we haven't got enough antennas. So they wanted to know what council's decision was, if they would purchase more antennas. They're $450 each, or there's other options where they could, we could purchase them, install them, and then Connect would charge a monthly fee and that would come back to the village, or we ask Connect, you purchase them. I mean, there's multiple ways, but for them, they're a business. They, if they can avoid having to make more purchases, because they do have to replace the radios if they come down, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's up to council, or, you know,
Well,
the antennas.
offering the antennas and that stuff at the beginning, I was like incentive
Yes.
to build that base, right? I don't think that's something we would continue to give away for free.
Okay.
My
No,
knee jerk reaction on it
I
anyways.
agree. It was free for the start,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it has to be put on.
it was an introductory help,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. So now whether we buy them and they pay us back for them.
In a monthly installment,
monthly
maybe?
installment.
I could see it that way.
With,
Yeah.
but Connect Mobility would do the monthly installment,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
could say, we'll purchase another 10 to keep us rotating, right? Because we're not kind of like, okay, we were almost gonna go pinch it off of the shop to be able to do an install, right? But, okay, yeah, if
good with
we could
that.
do 10,
Yeah.
and then it rotates and it will circulate and increase revenues again.
Because we are getting,
Yeah.
we are getting revenue back now. So
And
Yeah.
we got 3 quarters and we got 1 more quarter to go, and we exceeded what we expected already
That's
in
fantastic.
3 quarters.
Yeah, we've exceeded projections.
So, yeah, it's, you know, it will, the more we can get people on, the more profit we'll see in the end, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
But
Okay,
we still want to make that attractive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there are other options out there.
so, yeah, so basically just maybe a motion, we'll purchase 10 more to be dispersed with a monthly rental fee. Something like that.
Sure, I'll make them.
Brown. All in favor? Carried.
There's all that budget slowing you down.
WHMB letter.
So this is, they are wanting everybody to, anybody who can attend this meeting on January 6th. So we
Yeah.
can speak more to it. It's gonna be
Oh,
the Wheatland Housing. That falls on a Tuesday, right?
I believe so.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So
Tuesday,
I just want to give you guys a little bit of information. I'm gonna work on getting this email sent to my other email, because this will be coming up at that meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so I just gotta find it.
if you send it to me, I can forward it to
I
everybody.
can't send anything from this email.
Oh, okay.
It's the MGO
Um,
villagesstandard.ca.
Okay, well,
No,
maybe,
Mark, that one
Would
works.
that be,
Oh, that one?
No, the village one does not work.
yeah,
Yeah, that
maybe,
one does not work.
Mhm.
maybe what we'll do is we'll just have you print it off here. And then I can scan it and, no,
You're not understanding.
won't do anything.
I can't do anything with this
Okay.
email. It just,
just pass your phone around.
I. No, I'm just gonna read you, like, so We're trying to go
Be
to-
part of your report.
No, because it wasn't at the meeting.
Oh.
I was sick. No, I'm just gonna tell you one little thing about Class A budget, because then I will try to do my best to get this forwarded to you so you can read it before the meeting. So the Class A budget is what we're trying to get to proceed. Class A budget costs more money, but for the government to approve us their funding, it shows to them that we're serious about building this lodge. So that basically kind of helps to maybe understand a little bit more of Class A. The email is way more, you know what, I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm just gonna I'll do whatever I can tomorrow to get this email sent. to a different
Basically, the
email.
government looks at the budgets or the Class A and Class B and will approve a Class A over Class B
Yeah, so if there's,
application because we've already committed funds.
Yeah.
Right?
so if there's 15 people put in and 3 of us have a Class A budget, we're gonna be the first to get the money. So. But I would,
Maybe just ask Strathmore CAO to
I
re-forward it. to
I
a different
emailed him
address.
today
Oh, okay.
and I haven't heard back, so I will phone him tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, we'll accept that as information and
Yeah.
who would be attending?
I will be there.
Yeah. Send a reminder.
Depends what time it is.
7 to 7.
I'm really
o'clock?
hoping as many of us can be there.
7 to 8:30 at Wheatland Lodge.
7.
It'll be in the basement of the lodge.
Okay, so
Okay.
we'll
I
accept that as
will
information.
try.
7:30 January.
I will make that
2nd.
motion to accept his information. All in favor? Carried. Insurance claim.
Yeah, so earlier this year, we did have a theft. Wanted council's advice whether or not this should go through a claim. We've replaced the parts, what was stolen. So it comes down to where it's one hand to the other hand. Do you want this to go against your claim for the same amount you're gonna get back?
How much was it?
1,500.
What was it that was stolen?
We had our miter saw stolen and our air compressor,
This was the getting me onto the shop.
yeah, which is now a
What's
lot.
our deductible?
It was 1,000.
I wouldn't buy it.
No.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
So that was my, okay, so we will not concern ourselves on the claims, so accept as information.
Okay, fair enough.
Because that would also go against our rates as well, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's why.
So did
Just
you,
wanted to
you
bring it
need
up.
a motion? to
Just accept as information, I guess, or aware of the theft, and we will not make a claim.
I think we should make a motion.
Okay. All right,
I'll
Go
motion
ahead, make a
that.
motion.
okay,
All in favor? Carried, because we're spending money, right? Say what?
I should motion be to replace the equipment.
And replace
Yeah.
the equipment.
That would
Yeah.
be the-
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good idea too.
friendly amendment, yeah. All in favor? Carried. Say what?
We are gonna table this. I actually had a question because I'm trying to find out more information why we do not sit on the board. You were part of Sewa when we first
Only
started?
one member from Drumheller Solid Waste sits on the Sable board.
Mhm.
Okay, because Azar sits on the board. So she was supposed to send me more information. She didn't, so I
Okay.
would like to, she thought it would be good for the village to sit as a board member, but we'll find out more.
I will move the table.
That was too many years ago.
All in favor?
Okay,
Event, what do you say, what stand for?
Southern Alberta Waste, Energy to Waste
Energy to Waste.
Association.
It's all
Okay.
like-
Yeah, and we are part of it,
Yeah, we're,
but,
because it's part of Drumheller, so it's
yeah.
part of us.
Yeah, it was just a
Okay.
bunch more meetings. I had nothing to do with it. It was
Okay.
just-
Okay.
It was.
We'll table it.
9.6 library budget.
Okay, so every year we need to approve their budget. So it is presented and it's always a 3-year budget.
I will move to approve their budget. All in favor? Very.
And then there's lease. So,
Race.
okay, this is my fault and I'm pretty sure I presented the correct lease for council to approve, but just to be sure, I would like a motion to rescind the motion from the lease, library lease agreement made in on September 10th. And redo it as the approved signed.
Who made the motion?
It was Mike, but I think
Okay.
we can still,
Yeah.
as a council,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll make that motion.
So, okay, the motion to rescind,
Rescind that.
Okay.
yes.
All in
Accept
favor?
it.
just in case,
Yeah.
right? I wasn't, I cannot
Yeah.
confirm, so I will, and usually I would have my package,
I
but
don't
of
think
course
actually
it's,
you would have to rescind that if we make a new motion, to be honest with you.
rescind the motion because it's
that's
already,
fine.
yeah.
However
And
you
then
need
we'll
to
make a
do
new
it.
motion to approve
Okay.
the signed library
I will
lease.
move.
Okay,
All in favor?
the new lease.
Carried.
Okay, perfect. And then everybody's good. Sorry about that. Was
Secure,
I'm sure.
secure energy discharge.
Okay, every year the Secure Energy requests permission to discharge. And again, because of new council, I asked them for a map of where they discharge, and they can only discharge if their samples are okay. Maybe Martin, you can talk a little bit more on that one. No, like,
Mm-mm.
no, okay. Good enough. Yeah, so they just discharge, but they don't do it unless the samples
Yeah.
are taken.
It's their water runoff. off the
Water
yard,
runoff,
Basically.
yeah.
They have a holding pond. They have to do the tests because of what they do.
So he
And then
knows
they
more
just-
about that than
then
I
they
do.
Well,
just-
yeah,
Stick a pump in the ground and pipe over ground and put it down the same place where our sewer lagoon goes.
Yeah,
down
and
there.
so they showed you on the
That
map.
really-
It's down at the bottom
Yeah.
into our, and we
The line's
actually
always there.
own,
It's just sitting on the.
if you look at the map, well, yeah, it was in your
Yeah, I
package.
saw
We
it.
actually own that little square there,
Yeah.
that little diamond. So it's discharged onto our property, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, just a motion to approve, signing the, discharge and surface
Who wants to make
runoff.
that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Richard? All in favor? Carried.
Wow, we had to wait a long time for him to get his hand.
Yeah, I was hoping somebody was gonna be close.
Thank you for all being slow.
So with DEMSA, our last meeting, well, we had a special meeting Monday night with our
You had-
lawyer.
You had 9.
9.8 and
I'm sorry,
9.9.
Hand over that. Christmas party. So last night, the fire department did their annual drive around town with Santa on the bumper.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to our place, it was pretty much a popsicle. And last year I did bring up, I think that what we should do is do a community village Christmas party. Try to partner with the fire department, do something at the arena where they can come and park their trucks. Santa can come there. The people that actually want to see Santa can come and see Santa.
Mhm.
Instead of them walking, they walk the whole town and go to every door. I think, which is great, but it's,
I still, yeah, I
On a
think
It is
it's-
a little much.
on a
Both
cold
sides,
night,
yeah.
it's a lot, cause I've been there and I've done. it. So, I would like to, just have a letter maybe done up and maybe our rep can
Yeah.
have a conversation with them and see if they would like to partner with us doing that.
And yeah, they could go around and just
Sure.
put the lights on and go around and show everybody we're going to the,
Yeah, but they
We're
could just
ready.
don't have to sit
Come
the
and
poor
meet
old guy
Santa.
on the bumper.
oh yeah.
But he's so quiet when he's cold.
So,
Okay, anyway, that was just something I want to make a motion to direct staff
Okay.
to do a letter
okay,
about having a joint Christmas party as partners.
No, it's a good idea.
All in favor? Carried. And I didn't want to leave it because I knew I would forget and we'd be sitting here next year.
No, I think it's also a good idea because I watched one of the firefighters almost go down some of the driveways on their butts because some of them were, there was a lot of ice yesterday.
Okay, 9.9, I need a motion to rep. The orientation part 2 was done. All in favor? Carried. Wadempsa, last meeting was Monday night. Next meeting, it's not a set date yet. It was in the package, so
oh,
if we read it, our call volume is up. There was discussion on our, I didn't put this in because we don't know what we're putting it up to yet, but we have not raised our per capita rate for our dispatch services. I think we're at $6 per capita now, which per household really isn't a whole lot if you ever need an ambulance or a fire department. So we've operated dispatch in a deficit for a number of years. We used to take money from one place and put it there, and we can't do that anymore. So it will be going up. I just don't know numbers yet. We talked about having a regional partnership meeting in January, and then to have a discussion about it. So next meeting is undetermined. WHMB, I was sick. I did not attend. I tried to attend online, could not keep my eyes open, so I'm not charging for that meeting. Have nothing to report because I got nothing out of it. And our next meeting, we don't have a meeting until January. The 18th is our lodge Christmas party. That's what we do instead. So, yeah.
Is there an alternate for the?
No, we cannot have an alternate anymore. Come down from the ministers that, no, there are no alternates on these boards. We were running an alternate every year. We weren't the only ones, and then we kind of got our hands slapped. I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense, because even if you're sick, like I was, I missed the meeting basically, right? So it's none of us are happy about it. Okay.
Yeah.
But that come down from Hauser, so. Drumheller District Solid Waste.
We had our organizational meeting November 21st. Did a tour of the facility, a little education on that. It's a nonprofit organization. It's kind of run like that. Nothing special there. That EPR EPR, the curbside recycling may be coming. They're still waiting for government to make up their mind. Because right now, all the stuff that they recycle is due to government grants, right? So if the government takes those grants away, they can't recycle anymore. So curbside recycling could be coming. There's only one place in Calgary that a resident can take their garbage to, or that comes and collects it, and they do the sort. You don't have to have 10 containers. You can just have your recyclables, and they do the sort. There's only one place in Calgary, and that would be the one that would come and get our stuff. And what the cost would be, we have no idea yet, and whether it's even going to happen. But that's kind of, the writing's kind of on the wall. So that's about all they could really tell us for now. Other than that, there's some new contractors that are taking over
Mm.
the runs from the transfer stations. So Waste Management is now going to do it instead of that other one. Whatever,
GFL.
GFL, they lost the contract or whatever. So, and there's another one's taking over for the recycling, but
E360 or
yeah, something
something.
like that. Yeah,
What was it called?
E360 or something like
something like
that.
that. It's another.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Something
was amazed.
360.
Yeah,
They're all over.
they don't really do that much recycling. Like, they're tin cans, they'll squish them all into these little bales, right? They only have a truckload once every year. Same with their plastics. So they have these things full of bales of plastics, and they only one truck a year, which I thought it would be way 10 times that. Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Next meeting.
Next meeting, I haven't heard. I didn't write it down. They were talking about having one December 18th, but I think they're just going to be for the executive, but it won't be till January. I'll get back to you on that one. It's on my iPad at home.
WFCSS.
So we had our meeting November 26th. Crystal was up in Edmonton, one of our at a seminar. So we had a stand-in. We went over interim budget, and we also were discussing the man shed that went the other, I believe it was last week. That was a success. Went very well, I found out. And our next meeting is supposed to be December 20th, but it's our Christmas party.
December 20th.
Yeah.
Christmas party.
Yeah.
WRC.
We were there November 25th. Everything went really well. They proposed a couple of things. They did notarize that they could go up. They got a 10% increase on their lease property. Unfortunately, there's nothing that they can do about that. That's
WID.
Yes, WID that kind of threw everything at them. I actually have the information here. If you want to go over
10%?
the letter, it's right here. Yeah, they are going to be increasing everything by 10%. Unfortunately, this is part of the lease, and there is absolutely nothing that they can do about it. They did show us their budget, and everything looks on par. They do have 2 more proposals that they put in more rural areas, which might happen to help. I have all the information here too in regards to that. Where's the map here? Next meeting, I believe, is on the 17th. December 17th.
Are they going
Yes.
monthly now? Or every other month?
Monthly.
They are.
Yeah, every
Right
third.
now.
Every third.
Because we were going every other month. That's okay. Just close.
Good people. Awesome place.
Yep.
Great facility.
Nice and clean. Yeah.
Mhm.
Very clean. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they did.
They're on point.
Community futures.
Meeting was actually was their Christmas dinner December 4th, and I unfortunately was not in attendance. So we'll find out when the next meeting will be in January.
Library.
Yeah, I met on December 1st. They did their organizational meeting. You don't list their organization, like who's what positions and stuff.
They will send the board members to us to approve.
Okay,
Typically,
the different positions.
No, we don't need to know the positions. We
that's
just
all.
need to
Yeah.
approve the terms, right? For 1 year, 3 year. That's all we do here. We
Well, they did have they did appoint a new board member, so that'll be coming to you in January for
Oh,
council.
yeah.
Yes, again, their organizational meeting went over the ham and oyster supper. The final numbers are not tallied yet, but it was well supported, and they said numerous people have said it was the best one yet, so.
Oh, by far the best oysters I've ever had there.
Mhm.
And it went really smooth. And then afterwards, after that was the library, Christmas open house. Lots of screaming children, enjoying sugar and running all over and playing games, so it was good. And a visit from Mrs. Claus, who did story time and with the kids. It was really good. Next meeting is January 12th.
Ramp,
It's tomorrow's meeting.
Yes.
I'll be there. 3:00.
Yeah, don't forget to pick me up on the way by.
We coming?
Oh, yeah.
Wheatland Regional Partnership meeting was December 2nd.
Comments?
Not really. I'm not happy with the way it ended up, but we can't go back, so we'll see what happens down the road with everybody, with all the partners and go from there, I guess. We're hoping to have another one in January. So
Yeah. They're really all coming back to the regional partnership. So
we haven't had them for
a couple of years.
maybe 2 or 3 years. Because somebody got their noses out of joint about a letter that was sent asking for help, and decided that they would boycott that meeting, but never boycotted any other meeting, which didn't make sense to us, but
Put water under the bridge.
that
Yeah.
they're back at the table now, and
Yeah.
we have to sit together as partners. We're just not gonna make it. So hopefully we can move forward and keep going. And, yeah. Not sure that we get them in January, but I don't think they set anything up yet. It's kind of goes usually like quarterly. Sometimes it's not even quarterly because we kind of just call it when we have some things to talk about. So it's everybody in the county, all the villages and the county and the town of Strathmore.
I think they're good meetings. They let you, at least the past ones, like other terms that I was. part
Yeah,
of.
they used to be good.
You can understand, it gives you a little rundown of what the other communities are doing, what's big on their plate. And just sharing the information, the collaboration and partnership that you can get out of it, like, helping each other in different things, whether that's information or logistically or whatever, right? And I always thought they were really good in the
Well,
past.
these meetings are where it come out that we would bring we have a sanding truck over there in a plow. So we swap, I'll come over and sand here if needed. I'll go to Hazard and sand. Hazard just pays us because we swap. Ryan would bring the Otzi over and thaw culverts, right?
To protect.
Yeah, so, yeah, and that's where it come out of, and
just
the town
helps
of
hands,
Strathmore
right?
comes over and street cleans in Rocky Ford. We haven't used them over here yet, but there is a nominal fee, but it's not what it would be.
Not astronomical.
No.
And
It's
then
just nominal,
the
right?
county comes and
The county.
we pay for the product to spray the
Yeah.
calcium on the road, but they don't charge us for the
Yeah.
equipment and stuff, right?
So-
So,
No, it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
so it's all working together.
Yeah, so next meeting will just be announced as it's comes up.
Yeah.
We want to move to adopt the reports.
Oh,
All in favor? Or accept as information carried. Consent agenda, we want to move the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, let's take 5. And now, yeah.
There's a couple of questions and I'll follow up with you on that.
Yep.
I have to ask you a couple of those.
And when you come back in, I did make coffee, but we have to sacrifice a little bit because the two of us need decaf, so it was 2 against 1. But it is decaf.
Well, he wouldn't have known the difference anyway.
Well, he would have known.
Do you want to pause it?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, they want to sit and watch us on our 5-minute break.
Oh, yeah.
And then people. Yeah. It's like, it's always black.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I need. I am frozen.
Yeah, you were,
How's things? Good, brother, how are you?
so what was,
Oh.
you said the partnership didn't go well?
Yeah, no, I'll talk to you. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It went good until one thing.
My legs are so
Oh,
cold.
were they? Oh, well, you know what?
I could look at the space.
It did get cool in here.
Rush. Completion. Yep. Look through the grinder, you know what I mean?
Oh, Rockford.
Yeah, I realized it after I was born.
Those things good.
Yeah. There you go.
I should.
What's missing?
It came like that. I asked for a refund.
Blame Red, he's the one, we didn't count on it taking it.
That's a fail.
Hey, sorry. Oh, I can make up for it though. There's a little box with a reindeer on it. One of those are for you.
Oh, that's a fun, isn't it?
How did you know about the foot?
I heard about the fun.
The empty box is Richard.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Who made it?
I'm gonna tell
Sabrina.
Lisa. Lisa, I hope you're watching. Look at Richard.
Oh.
All the fudge.
She probably is.
It's like if she wanted some, she should have won on council.
Mhm.
We must.
This is delightful.
Mhm.
No, don't eat it. It's not good for you.
No, not good for
It's
you.
terrible.
Terrible. Don't eat it.
Right, you want to eat more?
I'm going to die.
If I ate that right now, I would be up all night.
I'll try to do this. There's no green ones this year.
Hey, no, no,
I just-
We
no.
gotta eat everything
No.
on that tray first.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that it was
No.
all the same.
No.
I'm not gonna take the whole tray.
Rule is you have to eat the top first.
Well, I wanted to see if
I'm just-
there was different
Grab,
ones. I
grab
wanted
a
to
chair. We gotta make the top tray first.
That was always the rule
Yeah.
for kids. No, you don't digging into the bottom.
Wouldn't be that hard. I'll tell you that.
Well, not after we leave tonight anyway.
So what do I get to strike off this list over here?
Oh, that was-
Land donation.
Ruby Praline.
Well, we're not really done yet.
Ruby praline.
Mhm.
They used to have a green tea one.
Land acknowledgement.
They're not there this year.
There's a matcha. There is a matcha, but it's not in the box.
Yeah, that's the green one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
Was there? I want the peanut butter one.
I used to like those, the other blocks when they had those big turtles or whatever. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got the big 2-pound block chocolate.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got that today over there.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's-
it's a whole big block. You have to actually cut it. It's about that friggin' thick.
Open it.
Is it
And
peanut
that
butter
whole
thing?
box is one
I
big
love
piece of
peanut
chocolate.
Open it.
Want me to open it?
Yep.
Yeah, open it, look at it.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
It comes with its own little hammer. Yes, it does too.
Come on.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Watch what it looks
It'll,
like.
there'll be a hammer right on the very top when you pick it, when you open it. See?
There you go. That's awesome.
Now, yeah, but lift up the lid. Oh, and then now you gotta open it up. I know this is they do a lot here.
Big
It's,
deal, eh?
Yeah, and it's as thick as that box. That's 2 pounds of chocolate.
Wow.
Sweet.
We're out of Andrew. I think it's
Yeah,
Andrew.
I like the
They
little
have
hammer.
never.
The
we've
hammer's
never give
awesome,
them-
so
we've
you
never-
can break the chocolate. Right?
Yeah, we would never give them any business. They keep bringing this stuff back.
Yeah, well, it's something we should look at though. If we get a tender, send it up to them. You never know.
They gave us chocolate. We need to send them a tender. Okay, so
Notice it.
Laura's back. We'll
Notice they want more business.
get like that. He doesn't believe me that they give him a hammer.
I
Have
wasn't,
I ever lied to you?
that wasn't questioning. I was just
No,
like,
I just-
I was like, really?
I'm just kidding, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so a month from now, we can check and see how much is gone.
Yeah, it's okay.
It won't be me. I think we still got lobsters in the closet. We'll be melting, we'll be making hot chocolate with it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. We can,
Okay. Counselor's concerns.
Yeah.
Can I take a pass?
Sure. Brian,
Nothing for me.
Richard,
No, nothing at this moment.
Brandon,
Well, only a follow-up kind of with what you had said for next year, but are we doing, or is that coming up when you were, are we doing any Christmas thing this year, or is it too short notice? Even at the outdoor rink or something?
we were talking about it. No,
Was there an answer in there?
no,
I missed it?
nothing planned. We were talking about it, but,
and the answer is yeah, no.
well, we
know what that
did
means.
reach out to the fire department, and then we
Yeah.
found out
Yeah,
on
they're-
Monday that they were doing it the next
Yeah, they're
night,
out.
so, yeah, that's as far as we got.
Okay, the only thing would be, I mean, we don't need much, a place, right? We have the
Chocolate
outdoor
cookies.
arena,
We got fire pits there.
fire pits, cookies, hot chocolate. I
Okay.
mean,
What night?
Well,
I'll have to leave the organizer here.
yeah, like I said,
I will
if
be
it's,
away, so,
if it's still feasible, I know it'd be a
Yeah.
whole lot nicer, yeah, with a little more notice, but,
yeah,
What if we were to do something the same night as Christmas night, Judge?
that's what I would
Yeah.
recommend.
The
Yeah.
20th.
okay, so we'll organize something. We'll get a newsletter out.
but you're right, we don't need much.
No, and you know what, sometimes the less planning, the better it turns out, right?
Just make sure we got a lot of firewood there.
Yeah.
and-
Oh. You got
Okay,
a couple trees we cut
Deal
down.
with
Okay,
That was,
so Christmas party,
yeah,
for, December 20th, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Same night, okay.
I have nothing.
Okay.
Closed session in accordance with ATIA Legal Division 2, Section 2, Section 32.
Okay, so,
We'll move to go in camera.
yeah, and so mute.
Sorry, I will move to go in closed session.
Closed session.
Want me
At
to
eight,
just mute it then or end it?
Yes, no.
no, mute it.
All right, put a camera at 8:50.
Mhm.
All right, go through the resolutions.
Okay, so we will need a motion to add to tax roll 20002 expenses of $880 for public auction expenses up to August 31st of 2025.
I will make that motion. All in favor? Carried.
The next motion is to add to the tax roll 20002 expense of $607.50 for property redemption remediation for unsightly bylaw.
I'll motion that.
All in favor? Carried.
Just give me a second. Next, I need a motion to add to tax roll 10001 $880 for public auction expense up to August 31st, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
Brian?
And last,
All in
I need a
favor?
motion.
He started to move his hand.
From his nose.
Add to tax roll 10001 expense of $322.50 for property remediation for unsightly bylaw.
It was close.
Richard, all in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
I guess that brings us to adjournment. I will move adjournment.
8:52.
And everybody except for Richard and Brandon are free to go.
Yes, because we have to do a